Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today it's going to be of the Dallas Cowboys, but it's going to be a special one. Obviously, you're thinking, Dallas Cowboys rebuild this early into the Madden season? Or just in general, because a lot of people just hate the Cowboys because it's like the meme thing to do, the culture thing to do. But of course, it's going to be a special one, as obviously we all know, unless you're living under a rock, that Trey Lance was traded to the Dallas Cowboys for literal peanuts. We obviously seen recently the high upside, high bust potential of Isaiah Simmons going to the Giants for next to nothing. Same situation here with Trey Lance going to the Cowboys. Now, I thought it was insanely strange that he would go interconference, and for that little, this isn't a contract year, running back or something that you're trading off. This is a guy that you traded a bunch of capital for to take 3 overall that is still insanely young at the most important position on a field, and you're the San Francisco 49ers who literally ran out of quarterbacks against the Eagles. I don't know how you make it make sense. I don't get it. It's like, oh, well, we've got Darnold, we've got Brock Purdy. Well, Brock Purdy, is he even fully healthy yet? And B, they had 3 capable starting quarterbacks, and they all got hurt last year. So the math ain't mathin'. The decisions from the front office ain't decisioning. I don't know if Trey Lance is the biggest locker room cancer of literal all time, or there's some sort of divide because they're like, we don't actually think Brock Purdy's that good. I think Trey Lance should be the guy. I don't know. Unless that's the case, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But from the Dallas Cowboys standpoint, you hate to say it, but wow, what a job. Good job. Obviously, Dak Prescott, coming off of an injured hand that really affected his play and ultimately the outcome of the season more realistically than not, I suppose, because, how can you really determine who's fully healthy or not? He was probably supposed to be on IR, but I don't think he did go on IR because they were like, screw that, we got a season to play. And of course, I know that Dak Prescott has almost no chance of getting replaced by Trey Lance unless it's an injury, but that's once again the scenario we're playing here. Tyron Smith, when healthy, one of the best tackles in the league for pretty much a decade. Zach Martin, same situation. Tyler Smith, huge, rookie upside, and just really good out the gate, playing multiple positions for them. Still only normal dev, probably should be star. Terrence Steele's a really solid tackle. Baez, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about him, but I don't think he's been great. Schoonmaker's got some athleticism. CD Lamb is, the next up when you're talking about truly elite wide receivers. Gallup has not really panned out as much as they've wanted him to, even with the extensions and whatnot. And then Brandon Cooks, a guy that in his 10 years playing has had 1,000+ yards 7 of those 10 seasons, and 99% of those teams were bad teams that he was on. And he's a very impressive wide receiver, and I think he's a great addition to this receiver room. Without him, you're like, okay, they got CeeDee Lamb, that's kind of it. But with him, it's like, okay, Cooks might still have a little bit in the tank if he can stay healthy. Pollard, he's been the best running back there for basically 3 years now, and then that's basically the offense. Defense, it's a unit that ever since Micah Parsons has joined has become one of the better defenses in the league. Linebackers are obviously a question mark, but they got DeMarvion Overshown, and he's obviously pretty athletic. What's his speed anyways? 87 speed, 90 hit power. Super fun in Madden. Obviously going to be, I don't know if one of the starters, but there's not a lot of talent going on around there, so going to start him. And of course, Leighton Vander Esch, guy that they were debating on, do we re-sign him, do we not? For the most part, wasn't great. And then I believe in the second half of the season, he picked it up. Safeties, especially with the depth, definitely an above-average unit. Corners, definitely above-average unit. Gilmore still got a lot left in the tank. And then Diggs, the interception's obviously down, but the coverage was a little bit up. Still, the bite on the double move, he's gotta solve it. He's gotta fix it. I don't know. The guy's aggressive. Sure, he'll get you a couple of picks, but he will also blow a lot of wide open coverages. And if I'm covering, if I've got him, I'm literally saying, if I'm the coach, I'm in the coach or the quarterback's helmet saying double move. Double move, double move, double move. Every play against this guy. He just bites so hard on it. That's really sus sounding. DeMarcus Lawrence, been pretty good, obviously. but it seems like he's kind of like an up down type of player. But overall, the overall makes sense. Speaking of the overall, I don't know why they just constantly keep only giving him star, but he is definitely a very good player that just gets overshadowed a lot. He's kind of like Chris Jones before maybe the last season or two. It was always about Aaron Donald, and no one really talked about Chris Jones because Chris Jones was really, really good, but he was just not that level of Aaron Donald. And DeMarcus Lawrence kind of has that little bit going on for himself. And like we said, we already talked about Parsons. He's one of the best defenders in the entire league, let alone at his position, just in all of defensive football. But yeah, this is a very good team. Their biggest issue right now is obviously stopping the run. I backed out because I thought I was done, and then my brain was like, wait a minute, we got to talk about this run defense that doesn't exist. Mozzie Smith hasn't looked great for them so far early on, but it's a learning curve. He's kind of used to just throwing people around in college, and the NFL is a lot of technique. There's a lot of huge guys as well, and it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. They took a couple of names, though, that maybe weren't the household names, if you will, when it comes to like the drafting, scouting process, but they've got a couple of really good athletes, and Dallas last season had a chance themselves. It's always a team that's like, they're going to get to the divisional probably, and that's where they stop. They never get to the championship round. They haven't been back to the Super Bowl in some time, but this is a team that, when healthy, is not to be overlooked. They just kind of ran into the Niners, who were just stopping everybody. They were just a defense that was, I don't know. I don't know how San Fran does it. The coaching there is insane, but that defense, it's a spooky, scary defense, let me tell you. And almost as spooky, scary as learning that you haven't subscribed. A lot of you guys watch the videos but aren't subscribed. It would mean a ton to me if you did. Maybe leave a like. Maybe take it back. If you leave a like now, take it back if you're like, I don't like this video, Trey Lance didn't do what I wanted, and, it was just a waste. So I'm taking the like back. Do that if you want. But, maybe forget about it. Maybe just leave it there. And if you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. That's about it. Let's get through this. See if Trey Lance is the guy or not of the future. Obviously, Dak Prescott's going literally nowhere until the very minimum 2024, but that would be a huge hit. So likely not until, a couple of seasons from now. So I don't know if Trey Lance actually fits as a re-sign player, unless it's like, okay, Trey Lance sits down with his agents like, okay, let's be realistic here. We're not, you're not NFL starter plus level. You're career backup, buddy. Let's just re-sign with them. Other than that, I don't know if he's going to get a contract from Dallas. But once again, I still just can't believe there's not a team in the AFC that would have offered even a 5th round pick. I know you're thinking, 4th round pick for his 5th round, but as a front office, giving up for that little a starting quarterback with high upside to a conference rival, that is a move. Not having a truly elite season with this Cowboys team, but oh my God, we're broke. Oh my God, they're broke. Yo! We got to option Micah Parsons. We've got to pay Terrence Steele, Tyron Smith, Stephon Gilmore, Tony Pollard, and we've got $2.4 million to do it. Now, I know we're not starting Dak, but leave it to me to not get to the playoffs with the damn Dallas Cowboys scheme. Oh, we got there. 9-8. If we lost, there was probably a good chance we don't make it. I'm kind of curious to see if that is factual or not. Trey Lance, the starter, 9-8. Wasn't pretty, but we got here. That's all that matters. You got to get the damn foot in the door. Sometimes that foot's a little stubborn. Giants at 9-8 miss, so yeah, obviously if we lose, we're out, but even with the win, we almost didn't make it. The last possible team in the playoffs, and I've seen this a lot of times, even in our rebuilds, where it's like the Cowboys are 9-8 or 10-7. It's like, oh yeah, well, surely they're not that good. It's like, you just don't want them in there, dude. You just don't know what kind of sim team you're going to face, which Trey Lance is living proof of this, is that should be good enough for at least star. Pollard was okay. For Pollard, that's well more than okay. Gallup was pretty good. Cooks was great. Lamb was great. Obviously, I'm saying great in comparison to what I'm expecting out of these players, as I did have Gallup higher on the list than Cooks for the slot role. Schoonmaker, not bad. And then blocking left tackle, not great. So Tyron Smith maybe can walk, especially with the age and the overall drop. But Parsons and Lawrence, both 11 sacks each, really good. Interceptions, okay numbers for Sim. Aubrey, the kicker. Where's Brett Maher when you need him? We should not have gotten him. Brett Maher out of here. Yeah, that was a reach. I knew it was a reach, and I kept on reaching. As far as MVP goes, definitely not on the list, but thought maybe he had a chance. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Parsons. I know he's like versatile, so maybe. Ooh, Overshow, nice. He is versatile, so maybe he got like picks or something. But 5 for Trey Lance, which is really good on the list. 5 for Pollard, wide receiver at 8. O-line number 1. Not that Zach Martin needed it. Parsons at 1. DeMarcus Lawrence, hopefully with 3 goes to superstar. Linebacker not on the list. DB not on the list. Kicker obviously not on the list. Packers had 2 guys on the list. They brought Mason Crosby back just for the hell of it. What are the odds of that? Unless he came back and I just am such a noob fan that I didn't realize it. Because they probably should. I know Anders Carlson's kind of like turning around a little bit, but yeah, I need some veteran assurance here. But yeah, that's pretty crazy though that Crosby got signed back by the Packers. Like, they have plenty of different options in games, so a little surprised by that. But here we go against the Vikings, 2 teams that aren't really that great in the playoffs lately. All right, here it is. Vikings versus Cowboys. It's already a miracle that won it. Brett Maher! Holy crap. How you doing, buddy? What a disaster he had. Was that maybe the worst kicking performance of all time? Like, I think it might have been, right? Like, it was actually a meme at that point. And it looks like we're going to win this game. Not by much. We're going to hold on, and we're going to move on to the divisional round. Don't think anyone really saw that as a super surprise, but, you know, it is Trey Lance. It's not the Dak Cowboys, the Dak Prescott Cowboys, but Kirk Cousins pretty good. Trey Lance slightly better, kind of, not really. It was a worse performance, but did end up with more touchdowns because of him. He had his own touchdown, so yeah, with the rushing numbers, he is better. How about that? DeMarcus Lawrence, 2 sacks, 1 for no interceptions for anyone, and then Maher actually hit all those kicks, but didn't matter because we hit 3 extra points. Didn't need a field goal because we put in touchdowns around here, even though we only had 3 of them. The Schoonmaker. I don't know actually if that's how you say his name, but it's when I see like something maker or mocker, I just think it's like Swedish or something. I don't know if that's even true, but like. Yeah, that's me for you. The Seattle Seahawks, a team that I'm trying to think of. Are they Super Bowl bound ever? I don't know, but we're playing them in the divisional. Alrighty, going to the end of the game. Nice start for 7. They get 7 back though, and I like it. I like the defense though. Up by 7. Come on, it's okay. Up by 7 still. They're gonna tie it up. They do. We drive down for 7 ourselves. Up by 7 again. They tie the game up, and we drive down. 3 minutes left. Did we get the stop? We got the stop, and we're headed to the championship round. Defense playing its part. Trey Lance in this one. Definitely not great, but didn't throw the interception, so still played a good part. Rushing was decent. Stopped Charbonnet like nobody's business, but he was probably short yardage situations. Micah Parsons, 1 sack, interception for Trayvon Diggs. So the 2 big names, if you will. Jason Myers with a missed kick. The man that was a legend in our Seattle Seahawks franchise last Madden. Missing a kick there. I don't know how much of a factor it really played since he lost by 7 anyways, but could have been something. I don't know, something in there. Of course, Trayvon Diggs not very good in man coverage, so slot upgrades are juice. So, I mean, realistically, Trayvon Diggs, because of that fact, nice with speed, because he has all the great zone coverage and he needs slot upgrades, is actually one of the better corners in the game because slot upgrades are so busted for man coverage and other like speed upgrades and all that, that because he doesn't really need zone, you can just rock that and, you know, it actually makes him really, really good because of that. And the Philadelphia Eagles, I think we might hit the standings. Why did they move it? Why are they like, hey, you want to do something fun and special? You want to mess up your clicks a billion times? Like, sure, I guess it's super fun, but I'm pretty sure we did lose twice to them. Where the hell is it though? Eagles and loss. Yep, both times. So chance to lose it all 3 games. Well, let's find out. Actually, let's take a look at who the Eagles had to beat okay. Once again, I'm making mistakes. That's on me, though, to be fair. Postseason, they did not have a bye week. I didn't even know what their record was, to be fair. But they beat the Falcons only by 10. And then they beat the Panthers only by What is that called? 5. So, okay. I hate how slow it is. I really do. It is so annoying. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles. NFC East is repping in the Super Bowl. Could it be a year 1 Super Bowl with Trey Lance? Which, if it is, I mean, even if it isn't, the Cowboys playbooks kind of need to be nerfed. But if it is, then it's like, okay, I mean, what are we even doing out here? All right, starting it off with a touchdown drive for Philly. Cowboys bounce back with nothing. Now down by 14. Halftime score of 17-0. 17-7 now. Nice defensive stop, but offense is going to do nothing. Only down by 3 now. Down by 10. They need to score every drive as they're in a bit of a deficit here. And 2 plays in a row, they gain 0. That is some astronomical crap offense. I don't know how you play that badly. And Lamb does get open. And that ball is on the money, and he drops it. What? What? He's like a 90 overall. Bro. Who coded this game? Does he have drops open pass? Oh my. How is that even physically possible? How is that physically effing possible? Oh, they actually, I mean, they got a chance. And that chance is, they're going to run it for the win, aren't they? And the chance is over. We lose the game basically on a wide open drop from CeeDee Lamb. No one in Dallas Cowboys Nation or even the league fan base would ever let him live that down. Ever. Like, there still needed to be a defensive stop and a score, which the team did get technically, but that is an astronomical, historical sell. Of course, the kicker missing too as well doesn't help. This could be downhill from here because we are about to become broke. All right, we got some dev ups, like we said, one of them being Trey Lance. He's now a 75 overall, who is still pretty damn young. I skipped right over the age and went the wrong way for trying to check out the dev ups. So, you know, we are cooking. Maybe going to change him to number 5, finally. But going to be 24 years old, which, I mean, that's fine, obviously. Field general, get that upgrade going. He was not the problem. You know, it wasn't great early on in the preseason games, but that one specifically was great. Don't know if CeeDee Lamb would have scored on that, but had a chance to. Would have been a 4th touchdown. And then Schoonmaker. Didn't feel like he had that good of a season, though, no? Like, am I wrong to believe that this is maybe a little too much? I don't know, but we'll take it. And then defensively, Overshown looks like he went up in dev. Curse went up in dev. And then DeMarcus Lawrence, the biggest one out of all of them, on both sides of the ball, went up in dev. Now to Superstar, which is clutch. Who can we afford? I don't know, but we're about to find out and see who we have to replace. O-line is something I would replace more than anything because, once again, it's not the hardest to draft. And we have talked about like guys like Tyron Smith have been injury prone in their career, and the guys don't play forever. Got to think with Tyler Smith around too, they can probably take the blow a little bit easier with him able to play left tackle. But the Bills winning by 15 over Philly, and we're headed on to the death of this team. I don't know if there's anyone we can get rid of, but right now we're looking at $8 million. Got to pay a 5th-year option of $28 million because he's going to ask for that and more. Buys us more time long term. Pollard we can't afford. Gilmore. So I mean, obviously, I don't know what that was. Pollard needs to be re-signed. Tyron, I think, has to be let go. We just can't afford him. Steele we can't afford either. And then a 5th-year option for Trey Lance makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, might get him for cheaper, especially since he's got to prove himself more than one season. But can we really afford a 5th-year option? I don't think we can. We have $9.8 million. I'm trying to do what I can. Can we even afford this? Oh, by the skin of our teeth. I don't even usually like Pollard on a re-sign, but I do like him here. We're going to have to replace a corner, a tackle, another tackle, a center, a safety, and some backups. This is great. And on top of it, we have a very bad draft pick because we were one of the better teams in the league. Is Dallas really this screwed? I mean, okay, sure. Why not? I think that Trey Lance trade makes even more sense now that you really think about it. Like, can they really afford him long term? Probably not. But because they're this, like, close and this invested and kind of screwed in the future, it seems, they kind of need to make it happen right now. So, it does make sense that they would be like, okay, we got to have a contingency plan in case Dak goes down again. Like, we are screwed. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I don't know who we can get rid of. Like, Gallup, hopefully, takes like a mad drop in cash. I don't know. I really don't. Like, all of these players are paid. I suppose Donovan Wilson got paid so he can be the starting strong safety now that we lost Curse. But, I mean, there's really no way out on this. Of course, Tyler Smith's going to be moving to left tackle, but man, no, we're not restructuring a damn thing. All right, at pick 29, there's a couple of options. There's a corner, which we obviously need, and there's a DT, which we could use, but what are the actual needs? O-line for sure, right? I almost feel like, once again, you almost have to trade down with the limited draft picks we have and the multiple starters we need to fill. There's a lot of good corners here. I don't know which one of them is, like, good, though. Like, Cooks here looks like probably the best, safest bet later on, but at the same time, higher up, Hood and Moore look even better. But we do have a couple of okay corners as is, so I could probably just go with Cooks and then hope for the best. Safety wouldn't hurt. Kirksey, I think I have to go for. And what else do we have? Tally looks great. Lentz, I scouted more of, but of course it didn't really show me everything. The DT looks good. I think I'm going to trade down. I think my biggest worry was losing corner, but there's so many good ones that I think we can get one even like late third. There's a couple of day threes that look decent in there. And once again, corner is very good in this Madden, and I forgot to lower the, how good they are, I suppose, would be short story of it. That trade looks pretty good from the Raiders, so I might be going to the Raiders with this one. I don't hate the Falcons either. 53 is a little bit later than I would have liked, though. 53 versus what? Yeah, I'm going to go to the Raiders. Give me that second round pick. And they traded up for a running back. Okay, yay. It's not like they got Josh Jacobs, who's putting up ridiculous numbers in Sim very consistently. We also do have Brian Moore, who is still there. 21 years old, pretty athletic. I'm pretty sure. I think he's like a 4.41, 4.38. But the speed is solid. His Excel is elite. So athleticism ratings look a little weird, I ain't going to lie. But I feel like I could just wait for Cooks. And I don't think I had another DT, by the way, which I really need. So maybe I should have just taken that DT in the first round. But yeah, there was like no other DTs either. We need O-line bad. We need multiple. I think I'm going to trade to late second and grab some linemen. We're already kind of there, but like late second, early third. Take 29, use the third round we get, and just call it from there. This is not a bad trade as we're getting a fifth. I just need more depth because we obviously, the team is pretty thin on those picks, and we're kind of broke. So let's, I guess, go with Minnesota. And somehow Brian Moore is still there. I'm going to take the risk on him. I'm a little worried about that athleticism. The 40 looks great, but that left side looks scary. Let's see what we got. Hidden Dev, and it's not wrong. You see a 4.38 and you're thinking higher than 90 speed. It did say his Excel was elite, and even though solid isn't, very accurate, solid is usually like 86, 87, still 90 speed is a lot lower than 4.38, so that 40 was legitimate. Or the left side was legitimate in relation. And we're going to be taking Mr. Richard Sawyer here with our late second round draft pick. Looks pretty decent, and hidden development trait. That's all we asked for. A little risky to just move on to this pick, but I just kind of assumed someone would be there, and we are not wrong. Levi West looks pretty good, whereas Huffman is a little bit more questionable. I think I'm going to go with Levi West to probably play the center spot. 21 years old on top of it, and hidden development trait, strength 92. I don't really follow. I really haven't been paying attention to the strengths even since last Madden, so it is what it is. Let's move on slowly because I kind of want a safety, and there's two of them. Bullock went. I probably would have rather had the other guy anyways, even though he's smaller, just because he had that B zone. So we're going to trade up to Seattle and grab that player. So far, so good on this draft, got to say. Definitely wish we could have done something for the DT spot, but you can't win them all. So we trade 2 7s this, a third and a fifth next, and Kelvin Joseph for their third-round pick this year being theirs of the Jets, which is a little bit of a loss, but couldn't get Seattle. They were broke, so I'm hoping, thankfully, Huffman's a great choice too, but glad they didn't take the safety, which they kind of need one. They would replace Quandre Diggs with another 5'9" safety. Safety, I think, is one of the bigger needs going forward. So Dante Kirksey is going to be the choice. B zone coverage with pretty good athleticism, but sadly normal development trait. So pretty iffy decision on that one. And, I mean, I'm not really sure we can do a whole lot outside of this pick 29. So we'll see what we do. But, oh, Steffens went. I don't think any of the linebackers are going to be there now that Steffens is gone. And all the linebackers are gone. Jalen Cooks is still there, though. So I am going to take him for future-proofing. We're set at corner, I think. Especially when you're hitting development trait. Nice. All right, DBs in Dallas are cooking. Sadly, the DTs were all tooken. Hey, look at me. A modern-day Dr. Seuss. Although there was some questionable books in his time, so maybe that's not a title I want, actually. I lied. And holy crap, all my players are gone. I'm down to a corner and a wide receiver. I had running backs. Oh, my. But Jason Poe, I'm pretty sure, is fast as hell. Welcome to the team. 94 speed, 94 excel. Not fast as hell, but kind of fast. We're going to move on to the 7th round and see if there's any special teamers, because we might need the punter spot as Anger. We can save a little bit of money getting rid of him, and in general is like 34, 35. And he's not great, but Black Punter. Let's go. Look at us. Look at us breaking barriers out here. 92 kick power. Not going to really be breaking 50 yards through the air, but, you know, I think he's the future of this position. Hopefully his accuracy is decent. He had a B accuracy, which is pretty good. We're -3 mil, which is, you know, what happens when you trade for a bunch of draft picks instead of just taking what you got. The rookie reserve did not fill out the way it needed to. What are these overalls looking like? Holy, oh my. That free safety was not good. The guard wasn't that high of an overall. The corner was decent. The other corner was all right too, but okay. I mean, we got a lot of players, but they weren't very good. I'm going to be sad. Oh, no. Kendrick Bullock was 5 overalls higher than the safety we got, and he's hidden development trait. If he's higher than star, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, indeed. He's only star, but still, that does suck. So I was not ready for Jermaine Pratt to be accepted in the trade that I just did, but he's going to be our new right outside linebacker. I needed right tackle more than anything, but I put Jalen Tolbert on the trade block, and, well, the result was pretty impressive, and I accepted it because I didn't think it was going to work, but yeah, that's the trade. We'll take it. All right, I don't know what the future of this team holds because we are getting very light on the O-line, and the wide receiver position is not great. Trey Lance is going to ask for at least 20 mil per, and we're still paying Prescott, so I don't know, dude. This is a scenario, you know, this is a special rebuild. It's not like a normal rebuild because I would start Dak Prescott, but this is a rebuild that is, quote-unquote, a challenge and may not be, quote-unquote, a success. This Trey Lance guy, things are going well for him. He's now a superstar. All right, we're probably going to be so damn broke. Oh, okay, so we have to pay Lamb. Oh, Dak needs to be paid, but we don't need to pay him because we got Trey. Oh, I love it. This is great. Leighton Vander Esch, maybe. Zach Martin, probably. Lawrence, I actually don't know because he already regressed a little bit, and he's only getting older. Okay, we're not actually screwed. Fair enough. I'll take it. 5-year 105, which is amazing. That drop alone costs him 15 mil. That's what I'm going to say. Trey Lance, playing pretty well. Super young. I mean, this is like a 4-year, like 100, I think. Even though he doesn't need to get paid that much, that's how much I'm paying him. 25 mil per year over 4 years is pretty good in this market as a superstar youngster as well. Leighton Vander Esch, if he's doing a 2-year 20, I'm down for it. So let's see, 2-year 21. Boom! Cooking. Leighton Vander, forget the Esch. We etched it out. That actually fit, thankfully. I'm finally not cringe. Someone's like, actually, very cringe. Zach Martin, I don't know what his restructure was in for real life, but that's as much, if not more, so I'm not going to feel bad about doing it. DeMarcus Lawrence, screw it, dude. We're not going to get better than him. We're just simply not. Everyone's loving to re-sign here, though. That money cooking. What else do we have? Oh, Digazua could be an option. Everyone else, though, I think is going to be let go, which is fine. Dak, sadly can't trade him off. Would take a huge pen hit, so we're just going to let him go to free agency. If we lose, I think we're 100% out, but we might be in the playoffs if we win. And we lose, missing the playoffs at 8 and 9. Team definitely did take a drop off, so it kind of makes sense. But Trey Lance is only getting better, and he's a superstar now, so it's like, But let's take a look. Trey Lance. I mean, this team, the window is not great right now, but Trey Lance, 30 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, just under 4,000 yards. Not great, honestly. Rushing numbers are actually pretty good for Trey. Lamb could go to X Factor. Cooks was all right. Schoonmaker was pretty good, and then Gallup was just, like, useless. Blocking, pretty similar to what we had before, so it doesn't seem like we really lost much there. Pass rush wasn't great, though. Interceptions, what is that? 6, 7, 8. And, yeah, that's about it. No playoffs in year 2 as the Dallas Cowboys, which is a mad L. Of course, kind of in a true rebuild now where we still have a couple of cornerstone pieces, but might be missing a little too much to really compete right now. But as far as award wins, best wide receiver goes to CeeDee Lamb, and best kicker goes to Aubrey. So definitely at least a dev up or two. And why couldn't it have been us? Washington wins the Super Bowl at 9-8, dude. All right, dev ups on offense. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb was going to go up in dev. He had the really solid numbers and best wide receiver award win. And then DeMarcus Lawrence, who is still regressing, though, is an X factor now. But that regression is brutal. This team's window is closing quickly. And I don't know if Brian Moore was already superstar, but he didn't get it from this week. So either he was already superstar or he got one earlier in the season for maybe a training or something. I don't know. But I have seen random dev ups from players just from weekly training. So could be that, perhaps. So we lost Cook. Gallup is still here. He's an okay overall. He's playing, can't get rid of him, but we do have 40 mil. Don't know who we have to pay anytime soon. If anything, it's going to be more loss of players than it is gain. So if there's a wide receiver here, I think we may have to go big. Otherwise, we're probably going to go home and just not win a Super Bowl because we're going to keep losing key contributors based on age and regression. Amari Cooper returning to Dallas. That could be a storyline right there, and more importantly, a damn necessary move. He's a bit on the older side, though, I gotta admit. I don't know. I wish it was green interest because I could do like a 2-year. Instead, it's like, it's a lot of money, dude. But we really need a wide receiver. Bring back Amari. Is that a possibility here? Houston, huh? I mean, I need a wide receiver bad, and it is going to take a long time to develop one from the draft unless you get really lucky with a superstar or X Factor, which I do not have a good track record with. So I'm going to try to get Amari Cooper back, I think. I love seeing Joe Burrow there in free agency, obviously. But as far as DT goes, it's going to be another position where we're probably looking through the draft. And we get him a 3-year, $63 million deal, which is definitely high at 31 years old, but he is still superstar. And, well, we've got 2 CeeDee Lambs now, kind of. I forgot that we sucked and we missed the playoffs, so fair enough. We're actually able to grab whoever the hell we want. I still think it might be a trade down because one of the biggest needs we have is DT, and DT is a plenty this time. Last draft, we needed DT. It was literally like 1 or 2 that were worth grabbing. This draft, there are a lot. Some of the guys, I will say, from A to C dropped to a C, but we do have Baca, who's probably going to be the guy, old Sussy. And then, obviously, you also have a Josh Thomas or Rowe. I think I'm going to trade down, and then, hopefully one of these guys are there at, like, 25. So I'm going to move to 25 and then take whoever the best is available. I guess we're going to 28 instead. We're going to be moving down. And, unfortunately, we have both of the players there. I will say, though, Rowe as an A to C finesse as well, which makes me want to grab him more than the other guy. So I think he sold me. Johnny Rowe. Hidden development trait, strength isn't great, but strong enough, fast enough, playing DT number 1/2. Might even grab another one a little bit later, perhaps. And Cousins was actually a left tackle that I had on my list, but didn't really need him too bad. We need like one lineman. We just need one. We don't need anyone specifically crazy. Brackett's still there. He wasn't great. Baca's still there, but he's a 3 to 4. Sawyer might be grabbed here because I actually don't have that deep of a draft class for linemen. So I actually was closer to selling than I thought. We actually need Bobby Sawyer pretty badly. I don't know how big he is. 6'3". I mean, he's a guard, so our left guard right now might actually move over to right tackle. And Sawyer, who's strong, is hidden. Probably going to sit left guard, and then our left guard's going to play the tackle, like I said. I mean, we need safety. This guy's the best available, so I'm going to be taking him. Mr. Javonte Mooney, 6'2", 220, so on the bigger side. and very athletic on top of it. Probably built to play corner more than safety, but hoping for hidden as our last free safety was terrible, and this guy's good. Nowhere near as athletic as he kind of looked, but still a very good player and definitely a future starter at one of the safety spots, maybe even this season. It took a lot of random picks to get here, but that was the literal lowest they would take, and I wanted to trade up for a DT, I believe, because Mozzie Smith might not be the guy. He's, more of a run stopper and not very much of a pass rusher at all, and I kind of feel like we need a little bit of a mix, but we'll see. Maybe we go for a linebacker instead, but I think I like the decision to go for Baca. I think I do. I also do like the tight end, but we do have Schoonmaker. We probably don't need a tight end, but this guy is pretty good. Key ratings are through the roof, 6'3", and very athletic. Grant Wagner is very intriguing, though. You know what? We can wait on DT. I'm going to grab the tight end. We can wait on DT because we got our starter, and then Mozzie will be the number 2 again. Grant Wagner's the choice, and I should not have waited. Very athletic, but normal dev, so... Well, I hope Baca wasn't great. We're now in the 4th round. I'm going to be taking a cornerback, Basley. It looks okay. And he's 5'10", probably more of a slot corner, but we kind of need one, I suppose, going forward. And 92 speed, 95 excel. Normal dev, looking okay. And in the 7th round, this guy looks like immense value. I don't know how good he is, but 6'3", B press, C-man. Clean it up. You don't want to slip on it. Decent value, I think, in the 7th round. Why not? It's weird. I don't know why. It's not even a disorder, but like a tendency. I stutter on purpose for effect, and I don't know what effect it gives. I promise you, I could literally talk without any stutters forever, but for 78 overall. That's pretty good for normal. But for some reason, I do a stutter for effect. I don't know what effect that is. What, who is that asking for? Right there! I did it again! I need help! Please! Oh, wow. Rowe is good. Very good block shed, good power move. The only problem is, archetype is run stopper, so... Gonna have a little bit of issues with him developing as a pure pass rusher, but I'll try to upgrade him as much as I can. Let's take a look at the dev anyways. Star dev. Curious to see what Thomas was like, but unless his dev was better, it's gonna be very hard for him to get beat. I was gonna do this, change his number to something in the 90s. 91, why not? And then Sawyer, we don't really need to look at his dev, so screw that. Safety is kind of... Actually, safety needs to be a strong safety, so we'll take a look at his dev while we're at it. And that tight end, I'm kind of curious. Why is he a 78 overall? We'll find out in a sec. A little bit more of a corner like we kind of expected, but low ratings in general. Doesn't really matter what style you want to play. It's low ratings regardless. And also star development trait, fair enough. All right, looking at the catching, that's a big reason why his overall is high. Route running's actually pretty good for, a rookie tight end, but injury's a little iffy. Traits are not great, but he is an interesting type of player. Normally you don't see the 6'3" good catching type. It's usually a 6'5" plus is the guy to go for, but this guy's actually pretty busted. Very good backup, and honestly probably should be the starter, as he's already, I believe, higher than Schoonmaker, which makes, with the age, him a longer-term, better developing piece. We're going to be trading Bland over to the Cardinals for a 4th-round pick. He still has potential, just didn't really get much of a starting chance in this rebuild. We've got too many options in front of him that have a higher ceiling. I got to be honest, looking at this team, looking at the guys that are going to be regressing, and, the lack of progressing at certain positions, I genuinely worry. I think there's a chance we don't win a Super Bowl. Amari Cooper is going to be regressing. Martin may retire. Lawrence is going to be pretty much unusable after next season. Pratt we're going to have to replace. Van Der Esch we're probably going to have to replace. Hooker we're probably going to have to replace. And a lot of the other guys are lower overalls. I'm not saying I ruined the Cowboys because, after that first or second season, they are in some pretty bad hell. But I did what I could. I mean, we got a really sick set of receivers. Really good running back. This is the best chance for Trey Lance, it feels like. Maybe this or maybe next season. Unless we win a Super Bowl here, then GG. But, this or next season are probably the best chances. I mean, if we go to season 5, I don't think there's a chance. I really don't. Unless we have a ton of money and there's some really good free agents. But, yeah, and we're losing every game in preseason, too, which is just fantastic. $73 million. We got to pay Parsons. Clark is actually a lot higher of an overall than I thought he would be, considering he's kind of been playing a backup role for, the last 2 seasons now. This season last. But Parsons seems to, I mean, we could afford all these guys, so let's just move on. So we're in the playoffs, but if we lose, we might actually lose the division. This is a close battle, and we won. I don't know if the Commanders won anyways. Got that trench battle we'll have to do in a second, but yeah, it was quite a season. It was definitely quite the year. Oh yeah, we actually got the bye week too. The Niners are actually very good too. I don't know if they would have been able to get it. We might have actually, as long as the right team lost, we might have been set no matter what. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty cooked. We even beat the Commanders at the end, which I think the Commanders were close, dude. I think they would have actually taken the division if we would have lost that game either week. Oh, there it goes. It fixed. Oh no, maybe not them. But the Giants, 12-5. Holy crap! And I clicked X to see it, and things happen. It is what it is. But yeah, fair enough. We would not have gotten the bye week if we were in the AFC, but we're not in the AFC. So who actually asked? Like, who did? Because it sure as hell wasn't me. Looking at the numbers, I do not see any of our... Oh, no, Micah Parsons at 20 sacks. Not bad. Debo, the Niners are kind of a rival of ours, I guess. They have a pretty good record. Trey Lance, not perfect, but good enough, especially Madden's ratings these days. But Tony Pollard, pretty mid-season. Cooper, really good return. And then, of course, CeeDee Lamb, great. Gallup, okay. Schoonmaker, okay. Really should have just started Wagner, though. Blocking, pretty fair for Madden Sim. Parsons, though, 20 sacks. Lawrence with only 7. You got to think it's like GG time for him. A couple of okay interception totals. Kicker, Aubrey, missing 3 out of 10. Not great. Punter, 52.9 yards per punt, which is great. No kick return or a tunt return. I don't know what I just said. I said tunt return. Punt return touchdowns. Jesus, I don't know what the hell that is. It's probably some sort of slur that is going to get me canceled, but it is what it is. I didn't even know what I said, so if that's what gets me, it's been a good run. Purdy at number 2. Number 9 for Trey Lance. The Niners did not make the wrong choice. You can say that much at least, as we won 3 awards, 2 of them by the same player. Micah Parsons is absolutely him. But let's go the divisional round automatically, and let's see if we can maybe make a run of it. Like I said, I feel like this year, maybe next year would be the best chances to do that. So it would be nice to have it here, or like I said, next season, because I think a 5th season is almost useless. Obviously, RNG, random stuff happens all the time, but realistically, it's probably useless because Zach Martin, I think, is going to be gone. And then Lawrence is obviously, he's going to suck after this season, and linebackers need to be replaced. It's going to be bad. And the team that won the Super Bowl barely sneaking back in the playoffs at 9-8, the Washington Commanders, who several years from now could even be a different named team, for all we know. But here we go, 88 to their 86. They're very good. Their record was just a little bad this year, but hey, they did it last season anyways. The Commanders glitching it out with that underdog strat, 9-8, winning the Super Bowl last year. They're going to try to do it again. 10-0 going into halftime. Hopefully 10-0, 17-0. Not hopefully. We got better than that. So far, the shutout is on. They get the touchdown, but no extra point. They're down by significant points, but they're catching up. And the offense will do enough. The defense helping, and a 31-13 victory over the Super Bowl champion Commanders of all teams. Trey Lance cooking up pretty nicely. That's including 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Obviously, that's what rushing means. Cooper returned to the Cowboys looking good with 177 yards with a touchdown. DeMarcus Lawrence trying to come out on top with 3 sacks. Both kickers looking a little sus, but a win nonetheless. All right, head to the conference championship round. We are the Cowboys, so there's no team to feel like the Oh, my Lord, it's the Falcons. I lied. All right, here we go. Winner is in the Super Bowl. And like I said, this is one of our last seasons of true windowage. Not a bad little start here, up by 7. That is still there. Okay, I thought it was going to be gone. And huge drive, but they don't get the score. We're up by 11, up by 14. It's looking good. One more score will do it. The defense says, screw it, we'll just stop them anyways, and we're headed to the Super Bowl 27-13 over the Falcons. Take a look at those numbers. Trey Lance, really good performance. 227 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Completion percentage a little low, but still pretty good. Bijan with a fumble. Maybe that played a factor, because it seemed like they were moving up and down the field, and then they just weren't finishing drives. And, wow, Brandon Graham's still here? Really? And then more importantly, weren't scoring at all. The Baltimore Ravens. Pretty high overall team as well. 11-6, pretty good win record. Let's take a look at who we may have had in DevUps, if anyone. Does not appear to be anyone on offense. And then defensively, Overshown goes to Superstar, but no other DevUps, surprisingly. All right, headed to the end of the game. 88 overall for both teams. Looks like a multiple turnovers, both sides. The whole first half, 0 points. We scored 7 right before the first half ended. 14-0. Defense is shutting down. This defense is legit. The Ravens still have a chance. And it's going to be a win. Barely. Trey Lance is a Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys. The Niners can't really be mad either because it worked out for their guy as well. I can't remember if they won a Super Bowl, but Brock Purdy's obviously very good. He was number 2 on MVP one of the seasons. And Trey Lance is good, but it is a team effort that got him here. It's not like he's just killing it straight up like Brock Purdy was. I think Trey Lance's highest ranking might have been 5th on MVP. Maybe he was even lower. I don't even know. Maybe that was quarterback I was looking at, and he was 8th on MVP. I don't even know. But obviously good enough to win a Super Bowl. Barely. And I kind of want to see who's left on a potential dynasty chance. If we see Demarcus Lawrence sucks, and even, if like Zach Martin's gone, yeah, it might just be let's just be happy when we won a Super Bowl and call it there, especially since it's the Cowboys. You can argue that maybe we should have already won one by now. Trey Lance, pretty damn good. That pick sucks, but completion percentage through the roof. Their guy, Lamar did pretty well too, in fairness, but we came away with the victory. Sack totals, Van Der Esch with a sack, apparently a middle linebacker, blitzed him, I guess. Bunch of different half sacks, and wow! I know one was blocked, but you could argue he won the Super Bowl because Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals. We don't know the depth. I could have looked at it. I just didn't. So maybe they were really long, but that is kind of crazy. And yeah, Amari Cooper dropped very significantly. Pollard's already dropping. I've got to only imagine. Wow. I've got to imagine DeMarcus Lawrence is like an 81 overall probably by now, if that. Or he's just gone. That's cool too. Yeah, you know what? This was supposed to be kind of a quick challenge in general. And it kind of was. I think I'm happy with the result. I'm happy that we won a Super Bowl with Trey Lance. Sure, maybe it could be a dynasty. I don't know. The team kind of was barely winning in the playoffs. I know we did have a really good 13-4 season with the bye week, but the team has regressed and DeMarcus Lawrence is gone. I think I'm satisfied. We're not going to look at Pollard because there's just no point because he's obviously lower than he probably started or very close to. CeeDee Lamb, very good release. Short route kind of sucks, but medium deep, amazing. Catching's crazy good. Speed is decent. No point in, once again, checking Cooper because obviously he regressed. Same with like Zach Martin. Not that we would check him anyways, but let's use one of our skill points with Trey Lance. 84 overall as a superstar. I think we're on about 156 QB XP sliders, but we didn't start that until like last season before it was, oh wow. Outside of deep accuracy, he is really accurate, but it was like 144. So, there's that. Schoonmaker, not a bad player, contributed nicely. He's still a little bit tough to, start because he's 81 overall and his ceiling is like kind of almost reached, whereas we have a backup literally his overall. And I actually backed out, but we have a backup his overall and he's like several years younger, like 4 or 5 years younger. But here's Schoonmaker anyways, very good catching. Short route's great, medium's iffy, deep is terrible. But he is pretty athletic, I suppose. And let's take a look at Tyler Smith next, I suppose. Anyone else? Sawyer. Oh, we have 2 Sawyers. I didn't even notice that. But let's take a look at Tyler Smith. The left guard was superstar, I guess. Or he got it from best O-line. I don't think he was best O-line, though. But, yeah, very good Tyler Smith. Obviously, run block finesse a little iffy, but every other rating is very solid. And then looking at the defense, Micah Parsons looks like he might be maxed out. No, he is not. Run stopper can still get up there, but 20 sacks this latest season and a hell of a playoff run as we won the Super Bowl. Near max pass rushing, very high block shedding, unbelievable speed. He's a freak. He is definitely a monster. Trevon Diggs, is he maxed in zone? He is not, so he might not even have that good a man. Yeah, they didn't upgrade him at all there, but 95 zone coverage, insanely fast on top of it. Then we look at Mr. Moore, only an 82 overall after playing for 2 seasons. I don't know if he got superstar right out the gate or it was like rookie year probably. Another really high zone corner. Man coverage is lacking. Poor man's digs here, which I don't know if that's even a good thing. Mooney we just got. Hooker we don't really care too much about. Van Der Esch, he went up in overall, but 84 overall is nothing to go crazy about. But Overshown, great block shed, okay zone coverage, and insane athleticism. 26 is getting up there, but Superstar Dev, he's still got a little bit of ways to go. He's not bad. But that is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PKR Plays. Like I said, intending to post something there on the second channel. Don't have it recorded yet, so I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it'd be a Monday upload, or maybe I hold it off for next week. I don't know. The Madden grind's still here. We'll have 2 videos tomorrow, and probably 2 videos on Monday. So the content continues, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. Not new. Appreciate you a ton. If you guys have a team you want to see next rebuilt, realistically, maybe a fantasy style, some sort of rebuild challenge, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys want to see another scenario type rebuild, maybe this isn't the scenario, but I don't know, maybe a trade of some sort you want to see for a team that's they should trade for this quarterback because he's not being used, and I want to see what happens. Let me know in the comment section below, and that is about it. Hope you guys come back for next video, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. But until next video, see ya!